Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Rob. I'm recording this at 6:21 a.m. on Halloween. Crazy. It's like nobody's even really talking about Halloween. I don't know. I work at a grocery store. I manage two departments, and I see every year like how holidays are, you know, hyped up. You can just tell how much hype is for a holiday by consumers. And man, is it quiet this year. It was quiet last year. I was like, huh. And the only reason I remember that is because of how quiet it is this year. And you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But I fucking love it if it is. If we're like finally reprioritizing our lives to not be around fucking holidays, that's a good thing, folks. That's a good thing. More money in your pocket to take care of the things you actually need, like each other. So this is just me kind of warming up to get me in the groove to talk, because I was just sitting here listening to somebody else. I was listening to the pessimist over there at Pessimist Productions. I was listening to last night's stream over there at Deep Fat Fried, and suddenly thought I was thinking about like channels again, my channel, and I still owe you guys like the video about like what's going on with me, but I keep saying, and I've said this for a long time, if you need to take mental health breaks, you take mental health breaks. They last as long as they last. That never stopped me from making stuff over on D's Reviews. It was to keep me somewhat in the game, but really, I don't know. It's more like the game being for me, just never stopping. Really trying to just always stay on and keep keep that community going that I got, and that's where this is headed. Like, is you know, I look at YouTube, right? As like if you want, this is one way to put it, so that maybe people can understand it better. I don't know. I don't think this is talking down to anybody. It's just kind of how I said it to myself in my head about channels, and specifically like channel size and what that does. Um, Because here out here, like I'm gonna call like YouTube. Think of YouTube like the Star Wars universe, and by universe I mean the actual space, the systems, and the planets. And if I was in the Star Wars universe, I was like, where would I be? And I was already talking about how like where do small channels go? Where would small channels be? And there are some small channels that feel like they're big channels. Like they come right out, and you can kind of tell right off the bat that these people are probably going to be if they find once they find their audience, they're going to be pretty good. Now, that doesn't mean like they're going to be pretty big, is what I should say. Good is an altogether other thing, but good, is in the eyes of the beholder. But we always have like the one thing we should be considering is the overall intelligence of that big group that makes the channels big, not necessarily good. And I was like, well, where would I be? Because if, let's say, Coruscant, right, is the center of this universe, per se. It's always kind of felt like the biggest deal. It's probably not in the center of their galaxy or anything, but it feels like the center of their universe. It is where everything like is controlled. It seems, overall control. Everything comes from Coruscant. So you got like Coruscant's like this the biggest channels there. That's where all the consumerism is, like the big consumerisms and deals and everything. And everybody wants to get the fucking Coruscant. Everyone, because they think that Coruscant means a better life. It's where things are happening. But Coruscant's like the fucking worst place in the galaxy. Sure, like if like consider like Coruscant here on Earth, right? Let's call it New York. Now, does that make New York as bad as Coruscant? No, but it's like one of those places though where everything happens, where all the shit goes down. And when you live there, you can wear that like a badge of honor. Like you're tough enough for Coruscant. You're tough enough for New York. You're really made of something special, and you do. Everywhere that people live, you have to be. We're adaptable, right? But some people can't adapt or change. And so if we can't, you just fucking with them and die. You fall down, you become a victim somewhere. So it's not to say that like when some place is the worst place on earth, doesn't mean that the worst people, just that it's all just the worst people somewhere. Occasionally you'll find a decent person on one of these big YouTube channels. Occasionally, somewhere where after everything that they've succeeded at, right? Everything. There's still like a couple of people that hold on to who they have always been. And that necessarily isn't necessarily always good either. But everybody wants to get there. And here's the thing. I the really, 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 really big channels like this terrible person sniper wolf or whatever the fuck she is. I took one look at her and went, of course. Of course. I mean, it just all makes so it makes so much sense. It's like it's like it's vapid, but you have a girl that's just she's the quintessential like movie hot girl next door type that's not over like so hot though that like you just go nope, never in a million years, but maybe drunk at a frat party, maybe. So she can keep that audience and any of the like young pre-masturbatory kids out there that want to just that just she's right up their alley. I mean, that's the biggest channels, like 34 fucking million. I didn't even know that, like I didn't even fathom that until I looked at her numbers because of this stupid controversy. And then of course she's a piece of shit. She's a low like does nothing, steals people's content, and then fucking just gets a huge massive ego about it, and then fucking becomes what they become. But my point is like I didn't even know this person existed. You know what I mean? I might have heard the name, but I never went to anything. Certainly didn't know that their numbers were that big. But I don't know any of those. I can tell you with beyond I am absolutely certain that I wouldn't know any of the big channels like that. I don't know who they are, but I've seen occasionally the kind of content that's on there, and boy, it really it. I weep for the species. I weep for the species, and I beg that, like I always say that some people think it's like dumb to say like you want the aliens to just come and take you away, like it's gonna make it better. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is whatever happens to me after they take me, that's on me. I let them take me. They might not have given me a choice. I'm saying, but if I were to be taken by aliens, and they were just like immediately, we're gonna eat the shit out of you, dude. We're just gonna chop you up, and we're gonna eat you because you guys are like superfood to us. I would still be able to say in my last moments, how many motherfuckers get to say they were eaten alive by aliens? That's all I'm saying. Like anything is preferable to this. You know, if for some reason they were to take me and give me all the secrets of the universe, that'd be great too. But I'm willing to accept any consequences. If they told me, if they pulled me up to their ship and said, if you press this button, your whole planet's gonna explode, but we're gonna put a different one there, and we're gonna see how that one works out. Tell me, let me tell you something. That's a great Twilight Zone episode there. That would have been a great Twilight Zone episode back, like when it first aired. To just end this whole thing now and trust that the aliens will do it. I think I pressed. I don't know. Look, I say that there's no bullshit here. So I mean, look, I would really question. I would ask, but this is all theoretical. So some people are like, "Oh, I don't want to." So anyway, big channels, right? But he's like 20, you know. Plus, I don't have kids, and I think a lot of that shit's kids for kids and families. All the fake, all the people that pretend that everything is like happening naturally in their family. These like the 1%ers up there, or maybe like what's just below 1%? Who's the like next bracket down? Whoever those fuckers are, the ones that have a shitload of money and waste it making YouTube videos pretending that their family is awesome. Um, See, there it is, like right there. That's the second level. So like, where would those people be? I guess they'd be in the successful planets that have great deals with Coruscant, which would mean that they're like corrupt as fuck, and they're filled with a bunch of fucking people that's like just don't come here. We don't we're fine here without you guys, which is basically the suburbs of big cities. So on YouTube, you know, I would say that like the best channel around in that kind of bracket would be like Red Letter Media, because I still don't think, like, now that I know like the numbers and how big those channels are, they're of course not like Red Letter Media is in that just below thing, and they are like again the example of people who as from their entire inception have been the same guys, which is why I still watch them every day. I've dropped so many channels because I either found out too much or I just got weary of them never changing and just pandering to their audience that just gives them solid numbers by never trying anything new outside of, I got a prop, or hey, ooh, I would have like changed my inflection here and there, or some bullshit, or brought in a little bit of politics or personal feelings to it. It's all still the same shit. It's all just so much the same goddamn cookie cutter shit. Even when certain ones tried, there was a what was it? It was in his guys did like probably like the third level down, maybe even the fourth level down. I don't know. We're starting to get too many levels, but you get it. There's a bunch of levels. And I was like, John Campia actually jumped in on this like Sniper Wolf thing. I'm not trying to purposely go back to Sniper Wolf. Just this like video he made just made me. He was talking about that, and he was like, "This almost made me think. This made me like think about leaving YouTube." And I'm like, "Shut the fuck up." Yeah, we all thought about it for a second, but who did? And I'll tell you something. Those that did, good for you. I mean it. I mean it. Like I thought about like, should I just go to Twitch full time? I mean, Twitch is, and you go, well, Twitch is as bad as YouTube. But the thing is I'm not trying to be a part of the Twitch community, like the bigger overall community. I'm just trying to make content. So I don't know nothing over there hardly at all, or who's got Twitch channels or nothing. Like it's not something I've done deep dives in. I've looked up a couple of people that are close to me and stuff, but like at least on Twitch, I still feel like completely anonymous and out of the universe, and I'm not concerned about getting big. I'm just like I even like stopped making my chat like where anybody can talk. It's like you have to be there for a month before I want to hear your voice. Like I don't want to hear what you have to say because I was like, you know what, I'm fine with the community I have, and I am. And I mean, I want to see growth. It's always nice to see growth. It means that you've reached some people and they're interested in listening to what you have to say, and I'm interested in what they have to say. Because I think the people that come to my channel are like people always say this, I guess, but a unique breed, or maybe just interested anthropologists. I don't know. But I was thinking, so you've got the big channels like those people, like the PewDiePies, I guess. I guess I do know a couple. Then you got like red letter medias, which is like, and I guess you'd throw in like for people in my universe. Like I'm trying to think of outside of who I know. I don't really know any of them. But you throw in like your Chris Stuckman, fucking Collider people are probably in there too. Those fucking sellouts. Eventually, if you get really big, you're gonna have to sell out. You're gonna have to get all the shit that. It's just such a. Ugh. It's like but that's how you do it. Okay, there's gonna be a little bump there. My, I don't know, my internet or something reset while I was in the middle of recording. So I got thrown off here by a little bit. So it's going to take a second to jump back in here. Because I know I was in the middle of talking about red letter media being at a certain level, your Chris Stuckmans, your Collider people. It's the sellouts. Some of, but no, I mean like those people. Like when you talk about sellouts, it's just the soulless shit. The soulless shit where they're just like they're sitting in a fucking like studio, and they all are just like, yeah, do you watch this? It just feels so just vacant, and empty. And they all just look like fucking. I don't know. They don't all. Look. Everybody's got to make a living. I would never want to make a living like that. And that's why I feel like being in the outer rim, man, is where it's at. Really, it really is. It really is. Like, I bet you, like some of the best times that a lot of these channels, even the big ones themselves, had is just being like when you're just being found by a small community and it's a nice and close still. And that's one of the things I can understand about small communities is as backwards and as very afraid of change as they are. uh, when you have something nice, you want to keep it that way. And so like, but also out here in the outer rim, it's really where I find the best stuff. It's either so bad it's good, or it's fucking you got some of the best people doing shit. The shit that really is positive or just really interesting or creative. All that's happening out here in the outer rim where no one's looking, where YouTube ignores. And in some ways that sucks, especially if you want to be a big channel. You want to be up there with them, but remember that's where you like if that's where you're headed, that's what you want to become. Really think about that. I'm saying you can do whatever you want, man. But like, do just really think about it, or at least really enjoy the time that you're having now before you become soulless and you become part of the whole thing. Because that's where I was getting tripped up for myself, because I kept saying I just like what I want to grow small and I want to build this community, and hey, someday maybe I'd be like Red Letter Media someday. But I can't put in the work. I have a 40-hour a week job that I can't just walk from. And unless I was willing, and that's one of the things I was thinking about when I was thinking about this video too, is like, how much do I have to put in, you know, to my personal life into this again? Because that's you want to know how you get to 1,700 videos, folks? You do nothing else. You go to work and then you come home and you make content. And occasionally you'll be making the kind of content like doing a watch party, or you're playing on Twitch or something, where you get to play something or watch something that's not being reviewed necessarily, but like watched as a group. Like you're always doing something with the community, and I needed more than that. I needed started realizing I needed time to try to get a life like outside of social media. And it's been different, but I miss this. Maybe not 1,700 videos miss, but I missed this, and so I had to start working on coming back and still reaching out there. Like, a big influence that you're going to notice on this channel is going to be, well, it's going to be clear, but I've been influenced by a few things, like at the right time, to remind myself of what I was doing and why I like where I'm at, why I always liked where I'm at. Because the best people I've met on YouTube, we're down here. We're down here. And the people that find our channels are the best. They are the people that are, you get to say were there at the beginning, except they stay with you, depending on sometimes what you're doing. They always reach back out. They always do. Because they're waiting for you to come back. But everybody has to, if you're not there, they're gonna go whatever. When you come back, they always come back, just about. And there's channels smaller than me that should be bigger, and I've tried a couple of times to like really encourage some smaller channels, and sometimes they go on to grow and still stay who they are, or sometimes they get a little bigger and become you can tell that they're going to be like jumping on bandwagons and stuff, which again, that's their right to do it. Go ahead, jump on, do what you have to do, like, because again, that desperation to be up there in the upper echelon, because it's rarefied air up there. And if you don't have money and power, well, you're just one of the little people that's going to get stepped on. And they're not wrong in noticing that, if they've noticed it that way, because that's the real temptation for a person like me, folks, is self-preservation. I'm a survivor, man. And part of me is like, I could survive a hell of a lot better if I just flipped the script proverbially, and just went down a dark, became the darkest part. Like, I've had a dark life, but I think that I try to keep a lot of light around me. But if I like went full dark side, oh my god, dude, I'd make one hell of a Sith. Let me tell you something. I would make one hell of a Sith. I'd be like the Sith who uses like mind powers, like solely, man. I would put all my dark side powers into like mental manipulation. Like, just by that I mean like, just become one of those YouTubers who just fucking just hardcore and like grifts like a motherfucker. That's what you do. That's what makes it, man. And I think I'd be a pretty damn. I mean, see, look, I can't do it now. I'm spoiling it. So anybody who's like, man, he really just wants to do this. No, It's like creating your own, like an alibi almost. It's like, look, I put it out here. No one's gonna fall for my shit if I just tell everybody right now. I would be a fucking hardcore grifter. If I suddenly change, I'm trying to be a grifter. If I suddenly stop being who I am on here, it's because I've decided to go to the dark side. So out here, being a small channel is awesome. If you really want to grow, you can grow. You just have to like keep going. Just keep going. There's always growth, and there's ways you can change your content too without changing who you are. So I don't know. It's just nice being out here, and I can do whatever I want. I have like 3 channels and more, really. I think I have 4. And then I got my Twitch thing, and I do what I want because it's free to do and mess around. And you don't have to be perfect. I always say that the most important thing on YouTube is for as far as quality of your content is what you actually have to say. You know, because the stuff that gets the most views is either the most pandering, because it's all pandering, by the way. Anybody who wants to talk about woke culture and other shit, the other side of that is pandering to you as well. They're giving you what you want, and you're sucking it up. And when things don't give you what you want, you can either just get over it and enjoy what you like, but you can't, because everything has to be for you. You selfish fucking twats. I'm about to lose my like fucking point here, but anyway, before I go too far down that rabbit hole, the best people are here, and you're free to be as creative as you want to be, and that's where we're headed. We're just gonna just do what we will always do, and we're gonna be trying things and all sorts. And I think there's a spider climbing down my ceiling. It's like one of those, like when the light hits just right on something in the air, and then when you're sitting in the dark, because I'm in a dark room right now, but like the light of the TV and the laptop, there's this little line of light, and this like spider leg. I just see the light of it coming down from the ceiling. It's like kind of creepy, and I'm like swinging my leg out here. This is what you get at 6:54. Whoa, 6:54 in the morning. I got to get my ass moving because I've got to leave for work in about 40 minutes. So anyway, this stream of consciousness is brought to you by nobody, because we don't need sponsors here. If you're looking for a rich wallet, go somewhere else. But if you do like what we're doing here on the channel, yeah, go ahead and hit subscribe and like and all that bullshit. Otherwise, that's me telling you why being a small channel is great. And you shouldn't be upset about it if it's taking you a while to get where you want to go. Enjoy where you're at, because you'll never be there again. Peace out, everybody.